almost 100 years, the state office building has sat feet away from the Capitol. In the beginning, housing different government commissions and departments, but today it's home to offices for a lot of government workers, including 134 state lawmakers, the Secretary of State, and the people who handle your state budget. But after almost a century, it's pretty old, outdated, getting cramped. And this week, site preparations are underway to make the building bigger and work better. But as that work starts, there are calls to stop the project altogether because of how much this dang thing costs. John Croman is with us now with the latest on the Showcase Showdown over how much it costs. John.
Hey, Jana, the votes have been taken, construction bonds have been sold, the wheels have been set in motion. So Republicans can't really stop it from happening, but they're trying to sound the alarm and create a public backlash against this project.
The state office building has stood for 92 years just across from the state capitol. Currently, it's where House members office and hold their hearings. The DFL majority says it's time for a major upgrade and expansion.
We're trying to make sure that the investments we're making are going to be here for future generations and ones where folks can be proud when they come up and visit their state legislators.
House Majority Leader Jamie Long points out that the building has been plagued by outdated HVAC systems, mold growth, flooding from burst pipes, and Democrats say the hearing rooms can't accommodate the kinds of crowds some issues generate.
But mainly it's about public access. We have a building that was not designed for having hearing rooms. It was designed as an old office building, and we've jerry-rigged some hearing rooms into it, but we don't have room for the level of the public demand for access to our hearings.
The Republican majority has balked at the size and scope of the project, but mostly the price tag, $500 million plus $230 million in interest on the bonds paid back across 3 decades.
So this is $730 million. Like, I just feel like the public hasn't been aware of how exorbitant and extravagant this is. And so I'm trying to shine a light on it and trying to stop it before they really get too far down this hole.
GOP State Rep Kristen Robbins says the goal is to create enough of a public outcry to get the Democrats to reverse themselves. Major construction is set to begin in spring, but contractors have already begun some of the staging work above ground and in the tunnel that connects the building to the state capitol.
I'm not saying we don't do anything. I'm saying we pause, do some really good cost-benefit analysis of the other options that are out there, and then come back and decide what's in the best interest of the taxpayers that will serve the functionality of the House.
If you're getting a feeling of deja vu from all of this, it's because we've been through it before. Republicans objected to the construction of the Senate office building back in 2014, and even after construction began, they pitched using it for something other than Senate business. In fact, initially, Republican senators refused to move into the building, even going so far as removing the nameplates from their office doors.
Now, Democrats say security is also a major motivator here. They've made some changes in response to the George Floyd protests and the threats that lawmakers received after January 6th, but they say more is needed. Republicans see this new building as a campaign issue for 2024. They've already coined the term palace for politicians. Jana.
Well, $730 million, I'm not going to disagree. That's a lot of money. But is there any realistic way to backtrack here when you have that Democratic trifecta?
Not really. It's just a matter of whether the Democrats start worrying they're going to lose control of the legislature based on this issue and make the changes or put the brakes on or scale it back. You know, that's what the Republicans are hoping for. Of course, some people say when you talk about a building that's going to last 50, 60 years, that money is worth it in the long run to do it now while it's less expensive than it'll be years from now.
Okay. Thank you so much, John Croman. Appreciate it.